So in this lecture, we will discuss how to handle the missing value in the data set. So missing value is very, very common in real data because data are not always available. For example, there are some sensitive data like income data or age data, or there could be inconsistency between different data sets, and hence people remove the data. Or at the beginning, we don't think this variable is important, so they don't store this variable, but later on they figure out, they add a new column of variable. Then any data that is before the time points will be treated as missing values. So there are many different ways to handle missing data. A very easy way, just ignore all the missing values. However, if you have many missing values in your data set, if you simply remove that, you will have large variance in terms of your remaining data set, and you will lose lots of information for the remaining modeling. Or we can use a global constant to fill in the missing value. And then there are many other smarter ways to do missing value imputation. For example, we can use sample mean, okay? And we can use the mode. And we can also use some prediction-based method. And even now, missing data analysis is still an active research area. So that's to say there's no universally good methods to handle missing data. So in practice, we could try all kinds of different options and to see which one will fit better in your data set. So in SAS Enterprise Miner, we have a tool called Impute node. So on the impute node, there are different ways to impute based on the variable, either that's class variable or interval variable. So for the class variable, you can use count. Okay. So count basically says you can to look at the frequency of each class variable and fill in the missing values is the most frequent class. Or you can use default one. And there are some tree methods. That's kind of predictive methods to fill in the missing values. So for the interval variable, as I mentioned, mean, median, and so on and so forth, and tree methods here, and we also have some robust method like Turkey method or Huber method. That's more robust compared to the simple predictive modeling. Okay, so we're going to focus on one method called tree method here. So tree method or decision tree is a predictive model. So we're going to use the predictive model to predict the missing values. So in the impute node, if we have missing value, then a variable with missing value will be treated as a target. And all the other input variable will be used as predictors. And then we fit a predictive model, that's decision tree, and then we fill in the missing value by the predictive values. Okay, and we can figure out or specify different method options in the tree imputation. So in future, we'll discuss what a detail of the decision tree method, but now let's just simply use this method. So again, we're going to go back to the SAS Enterprise Miner. We're going to look at how to use the imputation node in our analysis. So again, we use HMEQ analysis. So we will add a node called Impute node. So Impute node is in the modify tool. And then we connect data from file import to Impute node. Okay. So you can see from the property panel of the Impute node, for the class variable, there are different ways to impute. And for the interval, here just use mean. So we can change this one to like a tree-based methods to do the prediction. And for the class, you can also use tree-based method to do the missing value imputation. Okay, and then you can run this node. By the way, if you want to know more about this detailed information in the property manual, you can click the help menu. Just click that, and they will have a very detailed introduction and explanation of all the meaning of the options here. So after it's done, then we can take a look of the data of the imputation. So after finished, we can click the exported data. So exported data will be the one after we run the impute node. So make sure to click that before you run these impute nodes. All right, and now you see train data is the only data we have. Then you can click this one, and now you can see a different column is added to the original data set. So we have the CLH, and now has been replaced with imputed CLH. And now you see the missing value has been replaced by the predicted value based on tree methods. Okay. And so that's the prediction based on the tree measure for interval variable. So if we look at some categorical variable or class variable, for example, reason. So you can see reason here has been missing, and the job here is missing. So if you look at the imputed job, that's manager based on the tree-based methods. Okay, so you can see all the impute new columns. And then if we want to do any remaining analysis after the impute node, we just click add nodes and after the impute node. And the remaining nodes will use the imputed data for the remaining analysis. All right, so that's the end of the discussion of impute node.